I've spent the good majority of my afternoon playing what I want to say is the scariest game of 2026. And that's saying a lot because I've played plenty of horror game either on stream or growing up, and I haven't had a game that affected me this much in quite a long time. So let's talk about it. Project Songbird is a first-person psychological horror game where you play as Dakota, a musician with writer's block who retreats to a remote cabin in the Appalachian forest to record an album only to encounter surreal horrors and abstract anomalies. That's the exact description you'd find online for it, and a semi-similar description that you'll find on Steam, but this game is a lot more than just that. This game, in my opinion, is a massive love letter to a lot of the horror games, or even just horror movies, or just psychological thrillers we grew up watching as kids. I'm 41 years old, and this movie really brought me back to... I'm sorry, not movie. This game. See what I did there? I accidentally called it a movie. This game brought me back to just, again, like that feeling I haven't had since my first time playing Silent Hill, where I was actually scared to play this game. Originally, I wanted to play this game at night, give it more of that atmosphere, that feel, because the game has a really amazing atmosphere. Like it's enough to give you a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. So my original plan was to play this game, after my wife and baby went to bed around midnight. Everyone's sleeping. It's just me in my office, in here playing this game. I was too scared to play it. Like, I was maybe 20 minutes or so into Act 1. I saw one thing. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I saw one thing 20 minutes into Act 1, and I'm like, I'm done. Nope. And I just noped out, quit the game, quit Steam, put my computer on standby, and I'm like, I'm going to do this tomorrow when I wake up. That's the kind of game this is, and that's how it gets to you. The atmosphere that's in this game is just short of incredible, in my personal opinion. It feels like, and this is a description not only my description, but a description I've seen other people say and other reviewers say, is that it's like an A24 game. This is an A24 movie that got turned into a game, or however you want to put it. That's the type of movie this is. There's a lot of love and dedication that went into creating this game. Developed by Connor Rush and Fire Games, Project Songbird, as I said, is a love letter to the psychological thriller genre and has a lot of callbacks to a plethora of horror movies. If you look close, you can see them. And the fact that it takes place in the Appalachian Forest, Appalachian Trail, just adds a little bit of extra spookiness, especially if you're into like any type of paranormal history or paranormal stuff. If you follow me in my other content, I love the paranormal, and this takes it to that point. The battle system is pretty simple. There are enemies you do have to take on, and there's several times where you don't have to really engage an enemy. You can run away from them or go around them, but sometimes there's really no way around the enemy, and you just have to take them on. And it's smooth. The battle system is smooth. The buttons are smooth. It's putting it at the exact settings you're supposed to for, like make sure this object on the left is barely visible. If you put it at those settings, it adds that extra tone. And spoiler alert, you're not allowed to change it afterwards. So whatever you choose, that's what you choose. So of course I chose the darkest setting possible that you could use, and the game scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Our protagonist, Dakota, is very cool. Musician, non-binary, which I think is pretty awesome. And you get to evolve with this character. As you see the character evolve, not to go into spoilers, but they've encountered something in their past and they're trying to avoid it. And now, as you get into the game, they actively go more towards whatever this thing is they're trying to avoid. Not trying to give any spoilers yet. Now, full disclosure, the game is 3 acts. I've only played 2. I'm debating whether or not if I want to complete the third act on my own and then do my full spoilerific review later, or if I want to do a live stream completing all 3 acts. I'm not too sure, only because this is a great game and I want people to play it, and I don't want to really do any spoilers for anyone. The game is amazing and a lot of fun and very scary and very just story driven. I don't know how else to really talk about it without spoiling the game, but I really want you guys to play it. You should give it a shot. Sorry for the pause, but you should really give this game a shot. I really don't know any other way to describe it without giving too many spoilers. As I said before, the button system, the battle system feels pretty solid. There really is no confusion with the movement. The movement is pretty smooth and solid as well. You can either do WASD, you can either map it to an Xbox controller, you can map it to a PlayStation controller. It gives you those options in the settings as well, and you can even change it after the fact, which I think is pretty cool if you want to, for whatever reason, switch controllers if a controller breaks or whatnot. I personally could not find any real bugs. Stuff that I thought was a bug wasn't, and it was part of the game. When you get to it, you'll see what I mean. And there's a lot of horror tropes that Connor throws into this that really, really work fucking well, especially if you're wearing headphones, and I'll leave it at that. There were a few times while playing this game, especially when I'm battling like one of the enemies, where I would button mash by accident, and that's not a design flaw of the game. That is a me gaming problem, because I'm nervous, and I'm messing things up because the game is freaky. It's one of the first games I've played in years where I actually had to take notes and have notes in front of me so I can solve a puzzle. Yes, the character does record stuff as well, but it's a lot easier if you have it right in front of you on a piece of paper to look at and figure out. Believe me, that's the only way I was able to solve 3 puzzles in this game. What's amazing about this game is that it's an indie title. So yeah, you can be nitpicky and poke holes at some certain graphical errors, I guess, if you're really trying. But for an indie title, it is very well put together, and the graphics look like they could compete with most AAA games. It's a short game, about 4 hours as I've heard. I took a long time playing it because I'm a completionist. I look in every single corner. You don't have to look in every single corner. There are things you can get that are extra, which if you tell me about it, I'm going to look for it. But it's a game you could possibly beat in an afternoon if you really, really try. But it's worth playing, in my personal opinion. I'm really trying to find something bad about this game, and probably the only thing bad I can find about it is some of the puzzles, especially if you don't know music, can be a little difficult and not hard to solve, but can be difficult. I had to actually ask my wife to help me for 2 of the puzzles, just because they involve music. But other than that, other than being super nitpicky and just trying to find a reason to hate this game, this is a beautifully well put together game. Very scary, and I stand by my statement, possibly one of the scariest games of 2026. And all first person, which just adds an extra scary element. I'm usually a wuss when I play horror games, but this definitely gives you PT vibes if you know what I'm talking about. But as I said before, beautifully put together. A lot of love went into this game. The controls feel good. Battle system feels good. Everything feels amazing. And the music is awesome. There is music in this game that the Connor Rush approach artists in the area to put into the game. And I spent maybe 20 minutes alone just listening to the soundtrack and to the music. If you're into alternative indie music, you're going to like the soundtrack. It has a pretty wonderfully awesome soundtrack. Give it a listen. There are chances where you can actually listen to vinyl in the game and listen to what inspired Dakota to be the musician they are. If you enjoyed the game, let me know down below. If you're not a fan of it and it's not your type of thing, then let me know too. But I certainly enjoy it. I'm still debating on whether I want to stream it live, beating all 3 acts, or if I just want to do it on my own and enjoy it. I'm not exactly sure yet, but When I make that decision, you guys will definitely know. But I really do not want to spoil this for anyone. I want this. You should really enjoy and experience this game that's been put together. That's like the magic of Project Songbird. Anyway, friends, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. A little short, I know, but you know, there's not much more I can say about this game without babbling on and on and on about how great it really is. But anyway, friends, that's it for me. As always, be easy, stay frosty, and may the force be with you. Peace.